Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to learn how to do a spider web design on top of shiny mirror glaze. So you can do this spider web design on white shiny mirror glaze. Today we're going to do chocolate. So when I make the shiny mirror glaze, all I'm going to do is substitute out 64% for the white chocolate that we normally use. The procedure will be the same: bloom the gelatin, boil the water, the glucose, and the sugar together. Pour it over the chopped chocolate and the sweetened condensed milk, immersion it, blend it, and then add the gelatin. You'll see me then strain it. Maybe you'll see me, you'll see me do it. And then strain it. Make sure that we get it to 90 degrees. That's our perfect pouring temperature. Now you're going to see that this shiny mirror glaze is really dark. And I did that by adding a couple drops of black food coloring to it, because then it will make the spider web design pop even more. Now when you do the spider web design, two things have to be happening. The shiny mirror glaze needs to be freshly poured, because we know that gelatin makes a skin form on the top of shiny mirror glaze, and if the skin forms, we will not get the spider web design. The spider web design is made out of nothing more than neutral glaze. You've used neutral glaze several times in the department. It's also called mirror glaze. You can make it, but I will tell you, everybody buys it because again, it's just a sugar and a water that has a little bit of citric acid in it. You have to boil it, you manipulate it to get it pretty firm. But we go ahead and buy it, and then mirror glaze, all we have to do is we usually for one cake use about 100 grams of mirror glaze, and then you can color it any color that you want. I'm going to do red and yellow today, so I kind of get a tiger stripe orange going through it, so I think it'll be really pretty. My mirror glaze is at 90. My spider web, my design that I'm going to do, that glaze needs to be between 50 and 60 degrees Celsius. So that's about 122 Fahrenheit. Again, the glaze goes down. My mirror glaze for the spider web, it's kind of a tongue twister this morning. So again, that has to be between 50 and 60. So what I did, I made my colors and I microwaved my spider web glaze for just about 10 seconds, and that got it to the range that I wanted. So my shiny mirror glaze is warm, my spider web design glaze is warm, my cake is completely frozen. So again, by the time you come into class, our entremet will be in the blast freezer, so it's nice and cold. We're gonna just wipe off any snow that could be on it, because that could affect the mirror glaze going down. I pour it. Now what you might not see me on camera is, just to make sure that my spider web glaze stays warm, I'm going to pass my offset spatula just over a blowtorch once, the back of it, and that will heat the spatula and it will keep the spider web glaze nice and warm. So I'm going to pour. I'm going to immediately pass my my spatula over the blowtorch. I'm going to put on my two colors, and you're going to see me quickly swipe it over the top. Now, the warmer that the glaze is, the more spread out the webbing will be. So if you're at about 60 degrees, you'll get more of a mesh than you will a tight web need. So if you want it tighter and you don't want it to spread all over the cake, it would be more towards the 60 degrees Celsius. So you can just play around with that. You'll find your perfect amount of spider web design that you like. And that's going to be personal preference. So here we go. My mise en place is set. I'm going to swing the camera around. You'll see me just pour the shiny mirror glaze down, take my spider web glaze and just swipe it over the top of the cake, and then as always you'll see the final garnish, and I'll slice into the entremet so that you can see what you're going to actually be creating or finishing today. Okay, so give me 2 seconds and then we'll come back and you'll see me do the spider web design. here's our finished spider web. So you can see the mirror glaze turned out really well because see, you can see my reflection in it. I'm kind of weaving. And then we did the two colors of the red and the yellow. So we kind of got this tiger striped orange. And if you remember, I put, when I did the shiny mirror glaze, I did chocolate, dark chocolate instead of white chocolate. And then I put a couple drops of black food coloring in there just to make the color a little bit more vibrant. Remember, the chocolate is, the shiny mirror glaze is at 90 degrees, and my spider glaze is anywhere between 50 and 60 degrees. Remember, the warmer the spider glaze is, the more pronounced the webbing will be. So the cooler, the tighter it will be, the warmer, you know, you'll get more. So I was at about 55 degrees when I did this. And so again, mirror glaze goes down first. Remember, the key is to make sure that your spider web glaze is warm and ready to go. You put it on the back of the spatula. Now what you didn't see is I passed my spatula just once over a blowtorch to make sure that's warm, and that just jump starts the spider web glaze so that it's nice and warm. And then I went ahead, did my swipe, let it set, and then I went ahead and put a chocolate lotus flower on the top of it. And I just wanted to do that just to cover up a little bit where the spatula meets the cake in the first initial step, and then it's ready to go. So I would keep this in the freezer again, because after a couple of days the shiny mirror glaze does kind of lose its shine a little bit. And then I would pull it out of the freezer, temper it in the cooler for about 1 to 2 hours, and then it's ready for service. So again, I'm gonna cut this open so that you can see the inside of it. And this is how to do spider web design on top of mirror glaze. And our interior components, so we have the chocolate mousse, we have the chocolate biscuit, the hazelnut mousse, caramelized hazelnuts, and we have the plain almond croissant. So again, a nice entremet. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interior elements. Remember, again, our goal is to try to keep all the elements level. And so, perfect. So I'm pretty happy with this guy. And this is what we're going to be doing in class today. So I can't wait to see you guys, and we will finish this entremet.